of days it will take you to finish it. So if we need to read 1.5 books every month, then we can say that we have about 18 days to read one book. If our book is 100 pages long, then we have to read 5.5 pages every day. So in my calendar, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes every evening to read 5.5 pages. You might read faster or slower, but remember that you aren't just reading. You're also taking notes and learning new words and phrases. And we want to do the same thing with films. We usually watch films from the beginning to the end, so we need to find a day when we can dedicate an hour or 2 hours to watching the whole film. For me, I'm too busy during the week to do this, so it has to be at the weekend. We said that our goal was to watch 2.5 films per month, so I'm going to put a reminder in my calendar for every Saturday morning. You might be thinking, but Chris, that's 4 films. You're right, that is 4 films per month. But what we really need to do is understand the film, so we might have to watch the same film 2 times or even more times. You'll probably enjoy the film more the second time after you've learned new words and phrases. We need to look at how long the film is and put that in our calendar. So now you should have your goals written on that piece of paper in front of you. You should have your goals in your calendar with reminders. And there's still one more thing that you need to do. You see, if you just wake up and try to complete your goals as they are now, you'll fail because you haven't prepared anything. Which words are you going to learn? Which grammar rules are you going to study? Who are you going to speak with? Which books are you going to read? Which films are you going to watch? If you make those decisions every day and every time you get a reminder on your phone, then you'll waste all of your time planning and you won't spend that time studying. You need to do the planning first. So let's do that now. We've already talked about how you can find the top 100 or 200 or even 1,000 words in English, right? All you need to do is search on Google. So you need to print that list of words out and then separate it into groups of 6 words. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that the words are not simple words that you already know. For example, words like if or but or in. If you understand what I'm saying right now, then you probably know those words already. So you might need to start from the end of the list of most popular words. Another option is searching for lists of words about a special topic, for example, medical English or legal English or other professional spheres. You want to plan your words for the whole month so that you don't have to spend time planning every day again and again. And then next month, you'll do the same thing. So you need to go back to your calendar right now and schedule a planning day. On your planning day, you're going to plan which new words you're going to learn that month, which grammar rules, when you're going to have speaking practice, which books you'll read, and which films you'll watch that month. You'll probably need about 60 minutes the first time you do it, and then you'll need 30 minutes every month after that. I think the best day to schedule this for is the last day or the next to last day of the month before. So if you're planning for September, then you would plan and make your calendar and set your goals on the last day or next to last day of August. That's how you're going to plan everything. Now you understand how to find the words you need to learn. Grammar rules are going to be the same, really. You need to go to an English textbook or English website that teaches English and find the different grammar topics. Start from your current level. So start with stuff that you know a little bit about, but you haven't mastered yet. Start with those topics and then just follow the book you're using. I recommend New English File. I love that textbook and I use it with all of my students, but you can choose any textbook really. After that, speaking practice. We said that you need to find speaking partners and try to find a club or group where you can have regular speaking practice. Everyday practice is really the best way to start speaking and learn the language. Then we need to choose the books and films that we're going to use to learn English. This is really easy, and I suggest finding children's books and films first. This is going to help you because you're not going to be so interested in the story or the action of the film or book, but instead, you'll be focused on learning new words and phrases. So during your planning day, you're going to decide which words, which grammar topics, which books, and which films to study. And you're going to make plans for speaking practice. Now we're going to talk about some problems that people have when they try to learn English. What you need to understand about planning and setting goals when learning English is that if English is not part of your life, then it's just a game or a hobby. I'm sure you have hobbies. Maybe you listen to music or you play tennis. Are you a professional tennis player? If it's just your hobby, then you're not a professional. Hobbies are things that we do sometimes. They're things that we might like a little bit, but they aren't important enough for us to spend a lot of time doing them regularly. I mean, when are you going to use tennis in your real life? Only if you go to a tennis court and play tennis. But English is different. If you want to be great at English and if you want to speak fluently, then you have to make English part of your real everyday life. You need to find activities that you already do and start associating them with English. Maybe you spend a lot of time cooking. You could write your cooking instructions in English. You could make a rule in your life that every time you cook, you study English or watch an English TV show. Maybe you are a business person and don't have a lot of free time. Well, when you're driving to work, you could be studying English. You need to find real activities that you already do in your life and add English to them. If you don't make English part of your life, then it's just a game or a hobby. For many people, English is a game. They think it's fun to translate words and remember that this English word means this in their language and another English word means that in their language. They aren't serious about really knowing and using English in their life. They use it when they travel so they can buy food or so they can add an English word in their speech when they're speaking their first language and make jokes. It's a game for them. It's a game because it isn't a serious part of their life. So if you want to learn English seriously and speak fluently, then you need to make it part of your life too. Another problem I see a lot of students have is that they don't really like learning English. In fact, some of them just don't like learning anything. They hate the process of going to school, reading books, discussing things with other people, learning from a teacher. They just hate learning in general. And that means they'll never be great English speakers because you cannot become a great English speaker if you hate learning English. You must love learning English. In fact, you must love learning in general. Motivation is the most important element to being successful at learning anything. If you have motivation, you will find a reason and a time and a place to study. If you don't have motivation, then you'll find every reason not to study. It's that simple. So one of the major skills that you need to teach yourself is loving the process of learning. You must learn to love the process of learning if you want to be successful. Another problem that a lot of people have when they try to learn English is that they don't really understand what it means to be fluent in English. Everybody uses this word fluent. Why do you need to be fluent? Why not just be good at English or great at English or excellent or fantastic or amazing? Why fluent? Well, this word comes from Latin and it means to flow, like how water moves. It flows. When something flows, it's smooth, it's beautiful, it's easy, it feels right. And when your English flows, it sounds right to other people. But the problem is that most people don't even understand what it really means to be fluent. They try to be fluent, but they don't know what it means. And if they don't know what it means, then how will they ever know that they are fluent or are not fluent? How can you achieve a goal that you don't have? You can't. That's the answer. You can't. So let's make sure that you know what it means to be fluent in English and how you can achieve that. Almost every student who comes to me and says that they want to study with me says the same thing. They say, I want to speak English fluently. And I always ask them, well, what does fluent mean to you? And they can't answer because they don't know what it really means. So one of the most important things that you can learn is what it really means to be fluent in a language. And I'm going to use a story to explain this to you. This is a story about two real people that I met. One of them was named Pasha and the other was named Dennis. Both of them were from the same city. They had both studied English for a few years and had lived in the United States for a few months. They were about the same age. Dennis had studied academic English. He knew grammar. He knew lots of complicated words. He knew the rules of the language. He probably knew about 5,000 words. That's a lot of words. Native English speakers who are finishing school or who are at university usually know about 5,000 words. And Dennis was not a native speaker, but he knew 5,000 words. The problem with Dennis was that he didn't sound natural. When he spoke, it was like reading an English textbook. He spoke like a book, and he sounded like a robot. It was strange. When he spoke with people,